A lot of people think we're in a recession already, and there is a prediction that by the beginning of 2023 that we're actually going to be in a full-blown recession. What does this mean for food delivery drivers, and does this mean that we're not going to be able to get out there and make our money? My name is John McFall, and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel, where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the fact that prices are up, gas is going back up. We felt the heat of rising inflation for the last year, and it's not getting any better. It's actually predicted to go worse here at the beginning of 2023.
Yeah, right now you're looking at the American economy is dealing with inflation and a decelerating growth, like if not perhaps worse than what we had in the 1970s. So we call it stagflation, stagnation with inflation for obvious reasons. This is the number one issue in American politics right now in survey after survey after survey.
Food delivery is a luxury service. People use it because they have the extra perceived money to spend on us to go out there and pick their food up for them and to deliver it to them, so they don't have to get off their butts and go out and get it themselves. And when we get into tight financial situations, we start by tending to getting rid of the luxury services and things that we don't necessarily need so that we can focus on taking care of the bills that we actually have to pay for. And if we get into a real recession, how is this going to affect the food delivery business like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and GrubHub? Me personally, I think that the orders are going to go down as time goes on. I think we're going to see less orders on these platforms over the next 9 to 12 months because we are getting into a tighter financial situation individually. Another thing that this is going to cause is some people to lose their jobs. If you remember back to COVID when there were a bunch of layoffs, what happened? There was a ton of new drivers that came onto the food delivery scene because they needed to get out and make some money. So if we do get into a full-blown recession and we see higher prices and we see people losing jobs, I personally think that we're going to see more drivers on the road that are trying to get the food delivery money that's out there because it's an easy avenue to take for people to make money. Now I want to talk to you about a few different things that you can do if we get into this type of situation where the money becomes harder to get by using the food delivery platforms like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and GrubHub, because a lot of people on my channel do it full-time and some people do it part-time, but there's things that we can do to mitigate this situation if it gets to that point where we start seeing a definite decline in the amount of money that we can make. The first one that I want to tell you to do, if you haven't done it already, is if you are using only one platform like DoorDash or Uber Eats, make sure that you sign up for the other 2 or 3 that are in your area so that you can have more options and more availability of orders hitting your phone. It's always better to have more than one option, even if you don't use all of them. Some people only like to run one app, and that is fine, but if you notice that your income goes down on that one app, have other apps to fall back on in case you need, something to give you that income that you might be losing on the one that you're currently using. You can get on platforms like Roadie, you can get on platforms like Rover, you can get on Lyft and Shipt, and you can get on Instacart. There's even an app that we have out here now that people pay other people to come cuddle with them. So look into other options when it comes to, gig work that you can do so that you can make sure that you diversify your income and be able to make the money that you need to make. Another way you could do it is on places like Fiverr and Upwork. These are great platforms if you have some digital skills that you can throw out there to get people or companies to pay you to do work for them. So these might be some good options for you. Another thing that you can do is if you have some real skills that you can apply to, the marketplace, start your own side hustle and start making your own money and find things that you can do to, get clients and get people that'll buy what you have to sell, no matter what it is, so that you can keep your money coming in. The fourth and the final thing I want to talk to you about is getting an actual W-2 job. It is not the end of the world if you go from being a gig worker to getting a part-time or a full-time job. I've done it myself. I started doing food delivery in February of 2021. I lost my full-time job and I did food delivery full-time. I did that for a little while, and then after about 5 or 6 months, I ended up getting another W-2 job and using food delivery as a part-time side income for myself. So it's not the end of the world if you have to get a job temporarily until we get through this recession. There are so many things that are hitting our economy that are completely out of everyone's control and completely affecting everybody in this country and others. So you got to make sure that if you're running into a situation where you see that your income is declining, you've got to do something about it so that you can keep that income coming in and get the money that you need to take care of you and your family. It is possible to do it even through a recession. So make sure that you take a look at other options if you need to. If the apps aren't sending you the money that you need to make when you're out there, and make sure that you do everything that you need to take care of yourselves and to take care of your family so that you're not struggling any more than you need to. Want to remind you that down here in my description I have some great tools for you. The one I want to talk to you about today is my metric spreadsheet. If you want to know where you are and where you need to improve when it comes to food delivery, start keeping track of your numbers. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen real quick so y'all can check it out. If you look at the left-hand side, you'll see I always put my start time and my end time. This gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles. If you head to the right, you'll see for each individual app, I put the dollars that I've made, the time that I worked, along with the number of deliveries. Head to the bottom and you'll see it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, and your average per order. To get better at doing food delivery, it starts by knowing where you are so you can see those numbers and see where you need to improve. So make sure you head down into my description and go grab a copy of it for yourself if you haven't already. I'd also like to ask you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Finally, I want to say if you want to get better at doing food delivery, one of the biggest tools that you can use is check out my food delivery playlist here that has a whole bunch of strategies that'll teach you what you need to know. With that, I want to say I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.